So, the mizzen, yards, booms are fully rigged now. As you can see, all I've got to do now is add the mainsail, which goes here, and it works exactly the same as the foreyard. And when that's done, I'll show you what it looks like, and we'll move on to the other two yards. See, I've added the main mast yard on. I've only added the slings and thingy, slings and lift. I believe now, I can't remember what this bottom bit's called, because the brace is not going to be added in until later, so I can easily rig the mizzen mast yard. What I'm going to be doing now is actually adding the first spritsail. First thing I have to do is drill 3 holes along this cap, and then I'm going to put them all in, and then I'm going to have to add a sling to the spritsail and tie the spritsail just around here. And when that's done, I'll show you what it looks like, and we'll move on to the next bit. So I've now added the travelling guys, which is done by tying a piece of string with 500mm on both ends, going around, doing a loop around the yard, and then it's going back down to the first eye bolt, same thing on the other side, and then everything's adjusted so everything's nice and straight, as you can see, and secured in place. What I'm going to do now is add the guy pendant. I believe they're the same thing, and we're going to just have to do 3 sets of these, but I'll do the steps and I'll show you guys what it looks like, because I'm not too sure about what to do here. Okay, so I've now finished rigging the spritsail. As you can see, we had to fit 2 more of these ropes, which is, one of them is on the jibboom and the other end, it's not the jibboom, one of them's on the end of the bowsprit and the other one's on the jibboom, I believe it's called, and they all go down next to each other and down into the eye bolts, same on the other side. So everything is straight, and we're now moving on to adding the topsail yard, which is going to be done basically exactly the same as this foreyard top yard. So yeah. So I just had this stand come in, ready for the victory. I'll just show a little overview of it. It's not a real wood, it's processed wood, you can tell. I think this could be MDF by the texture of it, but it's been nicely polished, so it looks good. Comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. You have the nameplate and this block separate. I have to glue these on, and then these 2 separate as well. They're just screwed in the bottom. Got us for £20, which is the standard price on Model Space website. I think it's actually worth it, to be honest, because I have seen their other stands for their other models, and they're exactly the same, and they're like £35. So I'm considering myself quite lucky for the standard price for the Victory being £20, because it does seem like all their new subscriptions, everything for them is extortionate these days. It's like Victory, the only model that's actually worth making on their website now. But yeah, one issue I had is on the back has a chip, as you can see, it's nothing drastic enough for me that I will need to spend like 2-3 weeks waiting for me to send it there and get a replacement. So I'm just going to leave it. But yeah, nice little stand, £20. Okay, I've now fitted the main topsail, and what I've got to do now is add the Spritsail topsail yard, which is, I think, added in the same way as here. So I'll start securing it and I'll show you what it looks like partway through. I've now rigged the Spritsail, which is done by sort of the same process as hanging a topgallant with the lifts, but they go through here, up there, and back down to the outer board pole on the by the U channel. And yeah, I think there is going to be a bit more rigging involved in this later, but for now it looks to be pretty complete. So here we go. As of now, we are on to the final 10 issues. The main topgallant, which is done the same way as the 4. We so far added the sling and the lifts. Next we're just going to add the braces. Added the mizzen topsail and the mizzen main yard, I forgot what it was called. We got pulleys, lifts as normal, and we then have the braces. The braces on the lower mast go from here to the shrouds, and then back down to the first to last shroud. Same on the other side, and then the braces for this one go down through here, the block, back over and down onto the eye bolt. Okay, as you can see, my topgallant is now in place, as you can see. With the braces, the lifts, everything's in place. Everything is basically secure to the booms, back down to the same eye bolt. Nice and simple stuff, but what I'm going to have to do now is actually catch up with the things I'm lacking on. All the yards are done now. I've still got a few braces to do, but that's not till later. So what I'm going to have to do is catch up a little bit. I've got these final pieces of shrouds I need to do here, which I'll quickly finish off. And when that's done, I have to finish off the shrouds on this side that go through the cross trees, 3 of them. As I'm still missing this side. And when that's done, I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll move on to doing the gun ports on the other side. Shrouds are now done, finished. What I've got to do now is continue the gun ports on the other side, which is done the same way as on this side. Got to cut all of these out and then paint the sides, and then drill holes in the tops and bottoms to put string through. Sorry. And then this one's closed, and this one is a double door, as shown here behind the mizzen. So yeah, I'll do that now. Okay, so I've now started to rig the front anchors. Waist is done. We have the original piece of 0.8mm string, and then we tie another 200mm length of brown string, and then another 200 down near the bottom. Then we tie a 0.8mm loop and tie it around the middle. So that's how finished rigged anchor looks. Now we're going to have to do the rigging to attach it to the actual hull, which is done by rigging it around the cat head and then tying a hook around it, as you can see, which I've done here. You can see, and we're then going to tie the anchor into position as so, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done.